What's up, folks? This is Off the Chest with Eb, aka Mad Knick fan. I had to make a video. I seen my Knick Twitter fam lose their mind on the timelines, and also I just had a lot on my chest to get off. So before I start, I want to say I still believe in this team 100%, wholeheartedly. Still believe in this team, and I know that we've played horrible, but we are still in it. We're only a game behind. We're still in it, and it's not over until it's over. That being said, let's get into some of the things that I see that I may not like or that we can change. One is both of our shooters should not be coming off the bench. That should not happen. Both of our shooters should not be coming off the bench. That means your shooters are coming off, both of them are coming in cold. That should not happen. We need one of them to get into rhythm. And granted, Grimes is missing. He is still shooting. He's still our shooter. Eventually, they'll go down. Shooters have to shoot. Even before Tibbs made the adjustments in the playoffs to the starting five, we had a lot of Knick fans calling for Josh Hart to be in the starting lineup. I was not one of them. I believe if something is not broken, do not fix it. And it was working. We were winning games. We were in the second, round of the playoffs, so it worked. It worked when we used it. So I believe we need to go back to that. I know like I said, Josh Hart was playing better than Grimes, but this is a prime example of what I like to say about stats and analytics. When men lie, numbers don't, but they sure can be deceiving. And they're deceiving because he's doing well, yes, but as a team, it's messing up the flow of the game. I really believe it's messing up the flow, and the spacing. The spacing is terrible with Hart in the starting five. Even with Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson shooting, doing their thing from the three this season, teams still don't view them as shooters and would rather make them shooters than to give them to give them the lane. They would rather make them jump shooters. So you add on RJ, Mitch Robinson, and now Hart into that lineup. Other opposing teams are like, go ahead and shoot. We'll let you shoot. Go ahead. It's a win for the defense. And us jacking threes is bailing the defense out. So we have to go back to playing our game. Because once we play our game and we're unstoppable in my eyes, we have to go the whole season. We have outworked. We've beat down. We've tired out. We were very physical. We rebounded. We limited our turnovers. We dominated teams from the inside out. This is what we watched all season. And we found the way to win. It wasn't always pretty, but we found the way through that, through different styles of basketball. We put constant pressure on opposing teams. We used our bench as a weapon to keep the pressure on. We beat down teams. That's what we did physically. And people like, how did they win? It's just because we did it as a team. We need to go back to that concept. We need to really go back. And with Josh Hart in that starting five, it helps the defense defend us, to me. And when did we become Golden State Warriors, guys? When did we become the Golden State Warriors where we're out shooting teams? That's never been us, and I don't get why we're doing it now. We've never been a team to try to outscore another team. We've done it through other stuff, our defense, our rebounding, just our altogether team. We've never been relied on, hey, we're going to outshoot this team. We're going to jack up threes and beat this team. That's not us. That has not been us, and it's not us now. So again, the only team that in the playoffs that I fear is us, and we're stopping us. That was a big fear I had before the playoffs, and I said that plenty of times. We are our own worst enemy. That's the only team I fear in this playoffs because we are so deep. We have so many pieces, and we're stopping ourselves right now. For the sake of the flow of the game, we need to put Josh Hart back in it. Yes, to get others included, to get our main thing that everybody talks about is how deep we are. Right now, that is not showing. We need to go back to showing how deep we really are. We got to keep this pressure on the team. Miami Heat, they're dogs. They're dogs. Yes, they have heart. They're very physical. They remind of our mentality. What we're supposed to be doing, they're doing. They're being very, very physical. And just with Hart in the lineup, the Knicks have looked unrecognizable in a lot of spots in this game. So he needs to be that spark. He has to go back Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. He's had enough time to see Josh Hart in the starting lineup and be able to prepare for that, to adjust, to game plan for it, and he has. And with Hart in lineup again, is help. They can help defend everybody because they're not scared of anybody to shoot. So they're helping on any drive, on RJ, on Brunson, on Randall. It's help. The defense can help because there's no shooting to get them to stay to their man. There's everybody, all the opposing defense is cheating and waiting for the drive. This series, it seems like Tibbs, he's reluctant to change or adjust. I'm watching. I remember I looked at the clock last game, and it was about 4:42 left in the third quarter. And the only substitution that had been made was iHeart, and that was because Mitch had picked up his third foul. And we were down by 20. So that is the only adjustment you made with 4 minutes and 42 seconds left in the quarter was iHeart. No, nothing else. And we're down by 20. You're okay with the team getting down that much before you start really making decisions, putting in some shooters, something like some adjustments have to be made. That is ridiculous. I get sticking with your guns, but this is the playoffs. You have to adjust. You have to use all your pieces. Deuce played well in his limited minutes versus the Cavs. I thought he played very well. I thought it would also get him some more minutes here and there because he showed he's ready. And that has not happened. That has not happened at all, though. And I'm kind of surprised of that. We could use his defensive energy right now. We could use those plays that spark people. Why he loves Josh Hart so much. We could use his winning plays. You know, we could use another spark. And Deuce is that. And I would love to see him, I would love to see him on Vincent. I really do. I would love to see him on Vincent. I would love to see what he does on Vincent because he's there. Use him. I don't get it. We have the pieces. What are we saving them for? What are we saving them for? This is not like you can't keep saying the next game because this is the playoffs. It might not be too many more games if we play around. So you got to use them. You're not saving them. Just use the pieces. It's a great time. This is a great game to use Deuce. The great game, the physicality, everything. This is a great game to get Deuce in some minutes. How many times has a role player that normally doesn't play had an effect on us or killed us throughout the seasons or even in the playoffs? It happens. A known role player always goes off. Why not us? It's about times that we return the favor to other teams. Let some of these pieces in depth that we have to show just how deep we are. Let them help. You don't have to be a whole game. Throw them in there for 5 minutes just to see what it can produce. That is all. Tibbs has to let these written scripts go. The only thing that should be written in written in stone is winning and trying to win. And I get the player, but not going by player history and exactly what that player is doing in that current game. That's the problem we're having with Tibbs. He's going by what the type of player, and I get it because they earned that in respect, but this is the playoffs. You have to show. So if that said person is not showing, that said person should not be getting so many minutes. That's just my thoughts on it. No player history. What that player is doing in this game, that game that we're playing at that moment. That's how it should be. And the lineups that reflect that should be the people who are playing, the players that are playing well. It's not hard. If somebody plays well, you play them. If they don't play well, you sit them. Maybe let them resit, see, watch, regroup. Who knows? But you don't keep wrong and strong. You don't stay to the guns that's not working. If you're down by 20, that obviously is not working. Adjust. Please adjust. And not just call a timeout, but adjust. Bringing on stuff, he made me mad. Tibbs is making this harder than it has to be. Just like Lauren Hill saying, it could all be so simple, and it could. What else did I say about Tibbs? He just, teams will be, and even try Fournier. He's a shooter. 5 minutes. Put Fournier in the game. Just 5 minutes. Let him see. Just see what they do. Teams are less likely to leave a Fournier wide open, they would be RJ or Hart. They're daring them to shoot. I wouldn't think they would do that to Fournier so much. He is a career, shooter. He's a known shooter. So I don't know if they would do that to him too much. The first, maybe he hits 2 or 3, then they're going to get onto him, and that helps our spacing. I'm not talking the whole time, but just to try and help us open the game up for Randall and for our stars. That is it. Let Brunson, again, what I would like to see is some adjustments that I would like Tibbs to make is let Brunson, Randall, all go off ball, please. Because instead of the defense sitting there waiting and watching them with the ball, waiting, and Julius being on the wing right next to him, they can see the two of our main scorers right there if they're playing the zone. They're waiting. They have their eyes on them. Instead of them being in front of the defense, put them in the back. Maybe make Randall come from free throw line, flash to the baseline and flash to the free throw line. So now have Brunson off ball. Maybe let RJ or Grimes, put Grimes back in and let him be ball handler for a little while. That way, the defense, they're behind the defense, and they have the task of knowing where the ball is, and they have to worry about Brunson, Randall, or RJ. It depends on who's in the game. But now they have to worry about the others also cutting. So if that said person is not showing, that said person should not be getting so many minutes. That's just my thoughts on it. No player history. What that player is doing in this game, that we're playing at that moment. That's how it should be. And the lineups that reflect that should be the people who are playing, the players that are playing well. It's not hard. If somebody plays well, you play them. If they don't play well, you sit them. Maybe let them resit, see, watch, regroup. Who knows? But you don't keep wrong and strong. You don't stay to the guns that's not working. If you're down by 20, that obviously is not working. Adjust. Please adjust. And not just call a timeout, but adjust. Bringing on stuff, he made me mad. Tibbs he's making this harder than it has to be. Just like Lauren Hill saying, it could all be so simple, and it could. What else did I say about Tibbs? He just, teams will be, and even try Fournier. He's a shooter. 5 minutes, put Fournier in the game. Just 5 minutes, let him see. Just see what they do. Teams are less likely to leave a Fournier wide open, they would be RJ or Hart. They're daring them to shoot. I wouldn't think they would do that to Fournier so much. He is a career, shooter. He's a known shooter. So I don't know if they would do that to him too much. The first, maybe he hits 2 or 3, then they're going to get onto him, and that helps our spacing. I'm not talking the whole time, but just to try and help us open the game up for Randall and for our stars. That is it. Let Brunson, again, what I would like to see is some adjustments that I would like Tibbs to make is let Brunson, Randall, all go off ball, please. Because instead of the defense sitting there waiting and watching them with the ball, waiting, and Julius being on the wing right next to him, they can see the two of our main scorers right there if they're playing the zone. They're waiting. They have their eyes on them. Instead of them being in front of the defense, put them in the back. Maybe make Randall come from free throw line, flash to the baseline and flash to the free throw line. So now have Brunson off ball. Maybe let RJ or Grimes, put Grimes back in and let him be ball handler for a little while. That way, the defense, they're behind the defense, and they have the task of knowing where the ball is, and they have to worry about Brunson, Randall, or RJ. It depends on who's in the game. But now they have to worry about the others also cutting. And that has the defense thinking. Defense is not trying to think. They want to react. So now they have to think, where do I go? Oh, I see them. And that might open the game up for the others. They understand how Golden State does Steph. Steph can have the ball in his hand all the time. Steph can have the ball in his hand and do what he wants at will all the time because he is Steph. So he could have the ball all the time. But Golden State doesn't do that. They use Steph's presence as another offensive weapon. They let him go off ball because now the defense has the task of worrying about who has the ball and where Steph is. That makes the defense move. That keeps them thinking, and it helps open the game for other people. So when it is time for him to take over, he will, but the others are already involved. this it's not hard. That's simple. Ball movement, people movement. It will open up the game. Now, all levels of sports, all levels. It don't matter what level. That's what the general thing is, to get easy buckets. The ball moves faster than a person. We would tend to be dribbling first and then try to pass. No, it's pass first. Keep that ball on the string. Bing, 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 bing. Shift that zone. Shift the defense, even if it's not a zone. Just shift it. Make them think. Get them their wires crossed. That's all you want. Is wires to get crossed. You want somebody to make a mistake. We gotta just go back to doing what's best for us. We really do. We gotta return the favor of letting somebody else go off that normally doesn't go off. The other teams do that to us. Let's return the favor. Maybe it's the Deuce game today. Maybe it's the Fournier game today. I don't know, but we have to try. We saw that Tibbs tried the small lineup, and it actually worked. We went on a run when he played Obi and Randall together. We've been asking. I'm not going to mention how long we've been asking, but the fact that he tried it, hopefully we'll see it without being desperate move and a point of attack throughout the rest of the series, because I think that can help us in our spacing. Also, I think it can help us exploit more mismatches with the Heat. I don't understand why we're not attacking Kevin Love more often, especially off the dribble, maybe, and that probably because we are, but the help defense of the no spacing is helping him out. We just got to make them make mistakes. They're forcing us to play whatever game they want us to play. We need to play our game. That's just point blank, period. We got to go back to being the Knicks, being physical, playing our game, beating teams down on the inside. You can't stop us from the inside. Oh well, don't keep going. And eventually with that, we'll get foul troubles, I believe. Then the fouls, they have to call the basket. They have to call the foul sooner or later. That's all I'm gonna say. We keep doing it, you have to call it sooner or later. We just have to really play our game, and that's all I'm going to say. Everybody has to let their egos go, including our coach. This is a war, and we need all hands on deck. That's just it. This is a war, and we need all hands on deck. And we will be fine. We got to get behind our team and have their back, and we'll be fine. We can't only have their back when they're winning, guys. We got to have their back 24/7. This is our team. And last I checked, it was 4 games. It was over, and I checked it. We were down 2-1, so it's not over. And like Breeze would say, with a clean version, what Breeze would say, we have to lace up. And not trying to tell anybody how to fan at all, but the goal is always to be better than it was yesterday. So people are gonna have constructive criticism, and that's always welcome. But bashing is a little different. We don't have to bash our players, and I don't see how we're blaming anything on one player when all of our players didn't play. Our team as a collective didn't play up to par. So I'm not going to individually single out anybody. The team needs to play better. And like I said, it's the first person to 4 wins. And it's always, win or lose, is always orange and blue skies in my book. So let's get these positive vibes going. Let's go Knicks. And thank you for watching. And if you can, please like, share, subscribe to our channel on VSN on YouTube if you can. You can hit me up and follow me on Mad Knick fan on Twitter. And thank you for the support. It's appreciated. Shout out to my VSN family. And I'm out. And again, let's go Knicks.